Hello, thanks for joining me. I want to talk today about how I got into PAMP. So my first silver bar I bought was back in 2000, 2001 or 2. I really don't recall, but spot was 450 an ounce of silver. Gold was 200, 230 or so. So it was possible to buy a gram of gold for under 20 bucks, and 20 bucks was probably considered a bad price. Um, I did manage to buy a silver bar for 450. When you start off, you're not sure what to get into, what's the good deal, what's your kind of strategy about everything. And quite a few years later, what year was this now? 2009 maybe, 11. I'm not sure exactly, but I saw these Polish bars from PAMP, and I was already into bars enough where I knew what I liked and I bought what I liked, but these really, really caught my eye. And I want to say, so this is these bars here are from the set called the Stations of the Cross. There are 14 bars in this set. I bought the entire set at the same time, so in a box, which was not cheap at all. I had already a couple other Polish market PAMP bars, and at the time you were going to pay, well, if you were to buy it directly from the company that sold these, which I did a few times, you're going to pay about the price of 3 silver Fortuna 1 ounce bars. So not cheap, definitely a markup, but the quality on them is extreme. And I want to say the Stations of the Cross bars have the best details, the highest relief I've seen on a PAMP bar ever, perhaps, honestly. The details on these are absolutely amazing. So let's take a closer look. I don't know if you can really see it or not, the sculpting. It's extreme, honestly. So this set started when they were still using the royal blue SE cards, and it moved over to the type from a few years later. Now, with this kind of sculpting, you would expect the price on these is more, which they were. And what was unique, they had every single bar in the Stations of the Cross had a unique reverse. So the back on here is different. You can see, it's very hard to see though, actually. The book with the words in Polish. So the details are absolutely amazing. Show you one more here. You can just see how it's like shadowing because the sculpting is so intense. So in this video, I'm not going to show you all the Polish market bars. In fact, I'm missing one, so I don't have them all myself. But I want to give you an appreciation of them so you can understand why I got into PAMP. The Polish company, the Polish market bars, as I call them, also had a Polish cities set, and there's 12 bars in that set. If you're interested in more details on this series, I actually made a video on it, so you can check out the whole series. There was a Polish animal set, and this had 12 bars in it. This is the bear bar. At the time, the bear was considered the most rare, the most desirable, and that's just kind of like hearsay. People would say that this is the one you really wanted to get. So something was special about this one, more so than other designs, perhaps, or people just happened to like it and hoarded them more. So there was also this Polish Animals series. There was a bar here, what we see. It's a single issue, so this is not part of a set. This is actually a statue in Poland, and they basically made a bar of the statue. There's also a 12 bar series that's called the Mother of God set. And for me, this set, to a degree, is more sentimental than others because three of the paintings or icons I've actually seen in person. So I've actually seen this icon, and this is called Matka Boska Częstochowska. And this is a icon that's extremely famous and known in Polish history. So if you've ever seen it, that kind of gives that extra touch of how and why these bars are meaningful. Here's another one that I've seen in person, Matka Boska Lechinska. I've seen this one, I want to say either 2 or 3 times at different points in my life. And this is the third icon I've seen in person, Matka Boska Święta Lipki. So I saw this one a little more recently compared to the other ones, but if you go to various churches and shrines in Poland, you might actually see some of the icons of this series. And the thing is, there are probably dozens more that are very well known. They just happen to not get a PAMP bar made of them. To me, it's very unfortunate that this company no longer makes these bars because there are several designs I wish were made that never were. And that probably would have fit along very well with these bars, but they just never were made. Um, Maybe someday I can play a hand in having that come to be, but that is definitely dreaming at this point. So I wanted to leave you with this final bar here. And you can see there is this little box on the lower side and the number 13. So this is serial number 13 of this bar. And the other bars do not have a serial number on them, but some of the oldest in this series, basically the Polish market bars, have a serial number on the front. Those are the very rare ones. And those that have a serial number on the front have a mintage of only 500. So this is 13 out of 500. So I saved this one for last. It's definitely extremely rare. And here's a quick look of how the back looks like. It actually has a prayer on it in Polish. So after getting a few of these and the Stations of the Cross set, I was definitely absolutely hooked on PAMP. And from there, I found some much cheaper PAMP that was available at the time. So the Fortunas, of course, the Rose design, Rosa, as it's called sometimes, and the Lunar series was pretty new at the time. So I forget exactly if the Lunar series was already out when I got into PAMP or if it just came out. I want to say it came out shortly later, so like maybe 6 months or a year later. The Lunar series bars first started appearing, and I'm saying the first PAMP Lunar series, so the first Dragon in 2012. So now that I said that, I got into these Polish ones in 2011 or so. So that's how I got into PAMP. They definitely, the Polish market bars have a lot of details, a lot of bars you wouldn't normally see, and images. And if you have an appreciation of this type of art, you can easily get into getting hooked, I think. Thanks for joining me today. If you like the content, I appreciate the comments, the likes. And if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe. Take care. Thanks.